Good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London, and welcome to another episode of On This Day. Well, what happened on this day? Well, first and foremost, if I said the words circle in the sand and heaven is a place on earth, who are we talking about? Oh, it's the beautiful go-goer herself, the brilliant superstar solo singer Belinda Carlisle, who was born on this day in, well, let's not say, shall we, let's be gentlemanly, but she's still as beautiful as ever. And did you know, of course, she has a very strong Hollywood connection because she was married to the late James Mason's son. And of course, that gave her a big entree into a massive world. But more importantly, she's super talented and I think incredibly beautiful, even to this day. But what else happened on this day? Well, in 1982, were you one of the first people in Germany to buy the first ever compact disc? That's right, this happened on this day in 1982. Did it change your life, and what was the first CD that you bought? I'm not quite sure what mine was because I think I had to get a player first. Way expensive, wasn't it, back then? Also a bit of scandal way back in 1998, and we've just seen this on a recent TV drama, all about the intern at the White House, Monica Lewinsky, and of course the former president of the United States of America, Bill Clinton. Met Monica, lovely girl, very down to earth, and of course done a lot for campaigning in her own right. Whatever your thoughts are about her, one might say she was an incredibly stupid, naive and very young girl. Of course, it really became something of an historical event, didn't it? And one of the things that Monica said, which I totally agree with, we would have been totally different, wouldn't it, in today's social media world. Everything comes out now on social media. Of course, back then in 1998, things were a lot different. Now, did you take one of these? I'm pulling your leg, seriously, because way back in 1807, Robert Fulton, he basically started his very first trip in a steamboat, the Clermont, up the Hudson River. That is way back in 1807. I love a steamboat, don't you? I think they're really comfortable. And I think kids are transfixed by the big wheel and the water. You just never tire of looking at it, do you? Also in 1836, let's not forget the brilliant Charles Darwin, who left South America for the last time on HMS Beagle. A very interesting man, and if you get the opportunity, do check out his life. Also in 1876, Wagner had his very first opera premiering, and it was a huge success, A lot of people call him Wagner, but it is Wagner. And of course, when you think about it then, there was a lot of people vying for very similar success as they are in the charts today. You have the likes, of course, of Puccini and many other great artists of that era that still resonate today with mega audiences. And what beautiful music they left behind. Now, one book that became a big sensation, but not when it was first released, on this day in 1946, George Orwell's Animal Farm wasn't an instant bestseller, slowly became a cult classic. Now tell me, have you read it? Now, a little fun fact, by the way, because it is Vanilla Custard Day today. I love to share these. It's Vanilla Custard Day every day for me. I don't know about you. But I love these fun facts, don't you? There's a day for everything now, isn't there? They should have a day for you and me. Don't you think we should have a day? That's right. Of course, but if you are wanting to have something of a tasty treat, you could have a vanilla custard and nobody would say anything. And finally today, a woman who I truly and greatly admire, the one and only sex bomb herself, Mae West, was born on this day. Now truthfully, we're not quite sure exactly what year she was born because she skirted around it. Now I was lucky enough to get some fun facts about working with Mae West from the likes of Alice Cooper. Do you remember School's Out? Great performer, him. And of course the late and wonderful Tony Curtis, who starred in a movie with her. He basically said that Mae was one of her own. She wrote her own scripts, wrote her own plot, and basically reinvented the movie-going genre. Of course the films were limited because of the, shall we say, content. And when you think about it today, how lame is the content? But we all know Mae's sayings, don't we? Come up and see me sometime. I won't say the other ones that are a little bit saucy for this time in the day. But let's celebrate a true international icon who appeared over here in the United Kingdom way back in the late 40s at the Prince of Wales Theatre in London and also in Blackpool and Manchester. Apparently she wanted to get to see the place, but apparently also didn't like to mix with the crowds in case they got too close to her and became overwhelmed. You gotta love Mae West, born on this day. You're up to date with all the latest news that happened on this day. So, will I see you tomorrow? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.